After a good win at Randolph on Friday night, where the Hornets never trailed after trailing 4-3, Hollins came into Turner Gym on Saturday. Lynchburg looking to make it 2 in a row, but Hollins squeaks by the Hornets 73-71. After the game, I caught up with the head man of Hollins, Mr. Jim Phillips. He talked about his performance, not only Friday against Bridgewater, but Saturday against Lynchburg. Hollins really making some noise right now in the ODAC. Here's Jim Phillips on the Sports Buffet podcast.
Talking to Jim Phillips, obviously a good win. Things kind of got a little slow at the start, but I thought really an even game. What did you see?
Both teams gave everything they had on the floor. I mean, it was a just nick and tug battle, and we just came out. Last year we came out on the short end. This year we came out on the top end. So
when you got to kind of massage your team's feelings and make them feel good after what happened last night at home, talk about the challenge you felt that was coming in.
Well, last night we lost on a 25-foot three and buzzer beater, and the girls gave everything they had. We never talk about wins and losses. We talk about playing the game hard, playing the game right, playing the game together as a team, and let the wins take care of itself.
Talk about some individuals that impressed you from your group today.
Oh, I thought everybody stepped up. Jasmine Green, she didn't get Player of the Week this week in ODAC. We're in trouble. She scored 26 last night. I don't know what she had today, but she did a phenomenal job. Lacey Forrest is just, I think I got some of the two best guards in the conference. They're pretty good. And Lauren Moore's a freshman, and Chancey Wright battled underneath. They give it heart and soul to the team, and Molly's a great role player. She gives everything she has. And then my team on the bench, when I need somebody and I put them in, there's no falter whenever they get in there.
Was it your goal to really speed the game up? Because if you look at the scores just from this year, Lynchburg hasn't been scoring a lot, but it seemed like you guys really kind of upped the tempo a little bit.
Well, we played up tempo all year. We call it a fire drill a little bit against certain teams, and we play that because we want to get some transition and make people, even if they're going to defend us, we want to make them get back and hustle and play defense. Because I feel like my bench is pretty strong, and I can go to them whenever I need to, and we've been playing that kind of game all year.
What parts made you worry in today's game?
Well, they're big. They can put 4 post players out to handle the ball, and they can ISO certain kids, because we're a little small in some spots. So we have to really double down, work hard, in certain situations, especially with their lineup.
Really doing well in the ODAC right now, up towards the top half. What do you guys need to do to keep this going?
We just need to keep working hard. Our goal is to be the hardest working team in ODAC, practicing games. And, we work hard, stay together as a team. We'll see where we fall at the end.
Coach, appreciate the time.
Thank you.
Lynchburg is getting better and better every game. Abby Pyzik has a great blend of seniors and underclassmen, and once the whole chemistry gels and everything comes together, Lynchburg is going to be one of those teams that nobody is going to want to see. Not that a lot of people line up at the door to see Lynchburg coming in now, because it's a scary night when the Hornets come to town or when you come to Turner Gym. Abby Pyzik gave her thoughts on the game against Hollins as well as the night before the win against Randolph. Here's Abby Pyzik, head coach of the Hornets, on the Sports Buffet podcast after yesterday's loss 73-71 to Hollins.
Obviously not the result you wanted after last night. Let's kind of review 2-1 here. Last night, obviously a good win to get some momentum. What did you do well?
I thought we really pushed the ball. We've talked about being fast and fundamental, and, with having 2 freshmen really step into a starting role, Katie Reese has really stepped up, and she's a true transition point guard. So we really were able to get our transition going yesterday, especially in the second half. And so that really helped and elevated our game a little bit. So we were able to add that level, and then we really started utilizing our posts a little bit more and getting them touches. And so yesterday we did a very good job of that, and I thought that really helped lead to the success of the win.
Obviously, you're hoping the confidence can kind of carry over and get things kicked. I didn't think today was a bad game, but it just kind of seesawed back and forth. What did you see?
It was a great game. I thought Hollins is very, well improved, and they were very ready to play without a doubt. I thought it was a really competitive game. It's a tough one. It's a tough one, and I think there were times where, maybe the start of the second half we didn't come out the way we needed to come out right away, and then we fought back and made great plays at the end of the game to stay within it and showed great composure. And I think we're just missing that will to kind of refuse to lose at this point, and to really put it above and out of reach and kind of that killer instinct. But I could have been prouder of how hard my kids played, how they hit some shots. But we have a lot of work to do, and I thought we went away from getting it in the post, which I thought was probably one of their weaknesses for sure. So there's definitely things I thought we could have done a little bit better, and we'll definitely be working at that as we get ready for WNL.
2-part question. On their side, Green, I thought you kept her in check, and she got a few baskets in the second half that really strung together, but it seemed like they wanted to play up-tempo too. Did you sense that coming in too?
Yeah, they really have some great guard play, and they've really recruited well in that area. And so, our goal was to shut Green down. And, Carly Greenleaf did a phenomenal job of starting on her. We actually went to one of our post players, Kaylee Patterson, to guard her a little bit. Her lateral quickness is very, very strong, and she's a great rebounder. And so we knew Jasmine really likes to crash the boards and follow her shot. So we tried to put a little bit of height on her and change her up. And I thought my girls did a very good job of keeping her in check early. And, Jasmine was a phenomenal player, just hit 1,000 points last night, and when game came down to it, they went to her, and she got to the line and scored them.
I want to touch on two people from your team in closing. Shannon Allen didn't have a good first half, but she didn't give up. She really came out in the second half, and I thought played. And Caitlin Falls in the second half really, I thought, helped you guys. What did you see?
Without a doubt. I'll touch on Caitlin first. That kid plays with so much heart, without a doubt, every single night. And I wish sometimes I could break it up against all of them, because she just wants it so incredibly badly. And when I put her in the second half, I was like, I can't take her out. She's just really willing us to win right now. And she did a phenomenal job for us on putbacks, on finishing, and she's kind of had a little bit of a rough start this year, but she really put the team on her back at a certain point tonight, and I couldn't be more proud of her senior leadership in that aspect. Shannon had a tough first half. I was about to ring her a little bit, and I laid into her a little bit at halftime, and she's such a special kid. She wants that. She's a competitor, and she stepped up in the second half. She got to the free throw line. She did some things. We're working with our ball reversal and getting her a little more shots on the open end, and I know she's a little upset about how the game ended, right. But as a freshman, to be able to step up like that, there's only great things to come from her, and she's going to learn from this, and she's the type of player that will learn and make it better for the future.
When you have anybody that's having a rough night, obviously it's a case of, I don't think you want them to go into a shell, but obviously maybe you don't want them doing too much either. Is that kid-by-kid coaching, or is there one kind of, if you get where I'm going?
For sure. I think one of the toughest parts of coaching, but one of my favorite parts, is that you motivate every kid differently, and I think, Rosalind's Alexander's shot struggled tonight. You got to motivate her differently, and then I motivate Katie Reeves and Shannon differently as well, and I know my kids take it differently, for sure. And the biggest thing I focus on is building those relationships with my kids. I know Katie Reeves really likes football, so a lot of times I use football analogies with her sometimes, or Shannon, there's other things that motivate her, and Roz, I try to keep her very focused and balanced with her shot and her defense, and she did a phenomenal job on the boards tonight. And so that's the fun part about coaching, is that you get a group of 12 great young women that want to work for you, but you've got to motivate differently for each one of them and really push their buttons to that next level and push them to be the best they can be.
You know better than anyone, WNL is going to be tough on Friday. Good luck.
Thank you.
Once again, I think for people, for the years that they've considered Hollins and Lynchburg nights off in the ODAC, those days are done. Hollins and Lynchburg, both formidable foes, as it was a very evenly matched game. These two will square off again in February in Roanoke. For the Sports Buffet podcast, this has been Bob Alvis.